Let us breathe together as we commune with fresh waters.
I am Jas, the spirit nurturer.
I am Jay and the goddess. Peace. As we share Seed 7 and close our council for the 7 seeds of consciousness, thank you for lending your energy to this experience. I am sacred. Know that your presence matters and influences the transformation of all. I am sacred. As you listen to these stories, we hope you experience an ignition, an amplification, and a remembrance into the sacredness of you.
And there's also this wisdom because I reflected on other experiences where if I was in this exact same experience, I would have held a lot of judgment for, oh, Jasmine, you should have had this done earlier. You should have had this realization, ahead of time in the early half of the season, But as I'm seeing that, we've come to I guess you could say, quote unquote, end or this rest period. And I'm like thankful, like I'm okay. I'm like, okay, well, I've learned so much. Like I'm taking it's this piece of this full body experience that I'm taking it of, this saying of, learn from there's no such thing as failure. You know what I mean? Like it's learn from every experience is a learning experience. Everything that happens is something to be learned from. And that's what I'm saying of, as I'm reflected on the way that I've navigated this journey through these 7 seeds, through these 7 conversations, well, more than 7 conversations, but through these conversations, pulling out the wisdom, pulling out like pieces of knowledge, things that will be beneficial for me, and like actually applying them, and like being thankful that I can recognize them, seeing them in this new light, like actually seeing them. This thought came to me the other day of like, trauma blinds the beauty, like trauma blinds beauty. Because I've definitely been through things where I had them trauma glasses on, and they was just highlighting everything. It was completely red in the first chakra sense, like it was completely red. um, but as the trauma has been nurtured, healed, and almost like a scab, as the scab has fallen off and the wound has healed itself, I finally see the beauty. And I'm extremely grateful and thankful. Like isn't something I could have, I guess you can say, predicted, nothing that I planned, nothing that I could have articulated, but it's like a really celebratory time, to, I guess you can say this is like a mature phase, like a chrysalis, within the cocoon, crystallizing and, actually being able to understand like the sacredness of like my personal makeup and the sacredness of how I move and accepting it. And that's like the second piece of the acceptance of, I am who I am, you are who you are, but all of us together, like we still come together, bringing in that back the puzzle, like bringing in the pieces of like we still come together, but there's still this uniqueness that each one of us hold, and it's okay to like honor this uniqueness and be present with it. Yeah, that's truly what it is. Um, so I would say this, yeah, this journey, around the circle has been a journey. Something that definitely my spirit called in. I feel like our spirits connected and was like, oh, they gonna do this. Oh, they're gonna do this. Because, and I'm glad we're doing this together because, like I said, if it was just me, like if we weren't like working together, I don't know if I would be at the seventh seed, like to be honest, because the mind would have really got in the way, but like, you don't need to do it. It's okay, Jasmine, gotta do it. Like, um, and I want to bring in the sister, like the Saki hood, like truly because, you know, um, energy of like, we are better together, I am as we are as you are, but when we're working together, um, as sisters, as water siblings, working together truly, it's really this is that symbiotic flow, that symbiotic relationships that are built. And we're learning together and it's just a different connection. But we each have our own strengths and it works perfectly of building. I was gonna say appropriately because I feel like that's the best word, really building appropriately. Because it make buildings that make sense because it makes sense. So, I know my sacredness is forever being unveiled and revealed. I feel like I already said that, but I'm gonna say it again. And it's cool to be here. It's so cool to be here. Like we're here right now, and this is so cool. Like I want to say what's gonna happen next, but like I already know what I want to feel next. Like I like this feeling. I like the feeling. So let's be here. But still open to more expansive feelings that just release, and ignite more. Getting that piece of like crackle that is like expanding, but like I guess it's yeah. Now I'm thinking of a snake and like how the scales like once it I forgot the phase is called, but when it descales. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of like oof. Now we've like come out of this phase like we finally our scales have been pulled off, after all that healing. Now we're like in fresh skin. And I guess it's perfect for around this full moon energy, right? Like we did the work the last full moon.
If you want to continue to be with the shared stories of this episode, head over to coffee.com at Freshwater Society, where you can join our private membership and gain the full experience of all the stories and wisdom that was exposed and revealed within this episode. But in the meantime, still continue to connect with us on YouTube at Moving Earth Convergent Waters, TikTok and Instagram at Symbiotic Waters. And if you feel called, send us an email at symbioticwaters@gmail.com. We will connect soon. Stay present until we speak again.